Some argue the seemingly sudden diplomatic development is the inevitable consequence of the strong sanctions and pressure. Others warn that Pyongyang's latest moves could just be an attempt to buy time. Kwon Jang-ho turned to some experts for their viewpoints on the matter.
Just over 3 months ago, talks of a potential meeting between the leaders of the U.S. and North Korea would have sounded like a pipe dream. But the speed in which the situation has developed has caught everyone off guard. The question on everyone's mind has been why. The general consensus is that international sanctions led by the US have been biting and that North Korea are looking to ease the pressure.
What we can be sure of is that it has been the effect of the sanctions and pressure. The situation in North Korea is currently very serious, and they need to deal with the pressure and sanctions somehow.
However, the speed in which Pyongyang has opened up has raised questions over its intentions. There are concerns already that the regime is just stalling in the face of sanctions.
Many people believe that North Korea will not give up its nuclear weapons. So this agreement to have a summit meeting between the United States and North Korea would provide some time to North Korea to develop, to complete its nuclear capabilities.
In the meantime, there has also been surprise over how quickly the White House agreed to Pyongyang's invitation, especially after the war of words between President Trump and Kim Jong-un over the last year. But despite Trump's rhetoric, the administration's party line had always been to keep all options open, including dialogue, with North Korea halting nuclear and missile testing and suggesting that they could discuss denuclearization. Washington had little to lose from agreeing to talks.
I think it's important to keep in mind that the U.S. has always maintained a policy of maximum pressure and engagement. So to some extent, I think the U.S. was obligated in many ways to follow through on its original policy statement about how to engage with the North.
However, experts also point to the role that South Korea had in reaching this point, and that Seoul's involvement, especially during the Olympics, has contributed to the possible dialogue.
Trump's pressure and sanctions campaign did have an effect, but the deciding factor that acted as mediator between the U.S. and North Korea and alleviated their mistrust was South Korea.
Kwon Jang-ho, Arirang News.